Hi, I'm Jesse Jones, founder of Fourscore Business Law. Thanks for tuning into this quick video on convertible notes. This video, we're going to cover conversion of notes, specifically 3 items: automatic conversion, optional conversion, and essentially what is it converting into. So shadow series preferred stock is what we're going to talk about. Automatic conversion means that at a certain point, those notes that you sold are going to convert into stock. And most normally, that is tied to what we call a qualified financing amount. So let's say it's $1 million qualified financing. If you, as the CEO of the company, go raise $1 million or more, then the notes you previously sold are going to automatically convert in that financing. If you have a $1 million qualified financing amount and you, the CEO, go raise $800,000, then those notes are not going to automatically convert. Now, optional conversion comes into play in two spots. The first one is the situation I just described, where you have a qualified financing of $1 million, but you actually go raise money in an amount of $800,000 or something less than $1 million. The notes don't automatically convert, but in many cases, the note holders are happy to, or maybe want to, convert into that financing. But it requires their consent. But most normally they're allowed to do that if they would like to. The other spot where optional conversion comes into play is at maturity. So let's say it's a 12-month maturity date. You get to your end of the maturity date, and the note is now due. Now, a lot of times entrepreneurs don't really realize that a convertible note is actually debt. There is a repayment obligation. It very, very rarely ever actually comes into play. Because after that year, that maturity date is up, normally one of two things is going to happen. One, either the company has no money and it really can't repay it, and so it gets extended, the maturity date gets extended. Or number two, potentially the investor says, you know what, I'm okay converting into common stock at a preset valuation. And so that preset value is likely in the note, or it could be negotiated at the time. But that's where optional conversion comes into play in a convertible note. Now, what does a convertible note convert into? Well, it could convert into almost anything, but in most scenarios, it's going to convert into the shares that are sold at the next financing, at the qualified financing, where conversion is automatic. And so that could be exactly the same shares. It could be all the same rights, the same, the same liquidation preference, the same conversion price. Everything is exactly the same as it's being sold. Or it could convert into what's called a shadow series of preferred, which would basically be exactly the same as everything that is being sold in the next financing, except for they're going to take into account the discount on the note when it's converted into shares. And that would affect the amount of a liquidation preference and the conversion price in the charter. We spoke about liquidation preference in an earlier video. So please check out all our videos on equity financing and venture financing. And for more information on convertible notes, check out our white paper on venture financing at fourscorelaw.com. Thank you.